What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to our interactive horror stories. Today, we're going to be going through Crystal Skull, and I dear hope to God this is better than that Indiana Jones movie, because wow, that was bad. So, Crystal Skull number 1, apparently. If you see, there's a second one on there. These are super short, so we'll see what happens with this one. Let's get the synopsis here. You are a king who is loved by his people. You have a serious problem, though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease, and she is dying. You hear about a crystal skull which can cure illnesses and let people have visions. It is brought to your palace from the continent of America, but your man warns you that the skull might be cursed. Will the crystal skull bring health to the princess or doom? Alright, before we hit play, definitely hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out. There's tons of different content on this channel now, and ever growing. And hopefully the channel itself grows. I have lots to improve, I know. Hit it. Follow me. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Let's get right into this one. So, Crystal Skull. Here we go. Being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. You know this well as the sole ruler of a European kingdom in the age when America is discovered. It's been 25 years since you ascended to the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule. Your country is in peace, and the people are wealthy. There's something wrong with your life. Your daughter, Juliana, is ill. She's only 18 years old, and she has gotten an illness that nobody can cure yet. Princess is dying, and she is your only child and heir to the throne. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. That's like a comma there. You've tried almost everything. Almost. You've been informed about a mysterious artifact on Earth in the continent of America. It is a human skull made of crystal. It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve up such an excellent shape of a skull out of crystal. The skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but to an ancient civilization that has been lost. What amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to those to whom touches it with their bare hands. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell they saw how the human race has originated. And some tell that the skull can cure their illnesses. Those couldn't be cured with a medication available to your era. Naturally, you ordered your best men to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You are in Juliana's chamber. She's laying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit outside. Full moon enlightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She's too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under-eye bags. That's really weird with saying that. When you say bags under her eyes, showing her illness. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. Now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. Juliana asks you with a soft voice, "Father, am I going to die?" "I won't allow that!" She smiles. "I know, Father. You are a mighty king. I know that you will do the best by your subjects and me." The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. "Come in." A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, "Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You've been waiting for this moment a long time. Kiss Juliana's forehead and I will come back." After you kiss Juliana's forehead and say, "I will come back," she brings your hand to her pale lips and kisses it. Then you leave Juliana alone in her chamber. At the exit of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights who were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He's a strong man with black hair and a round beard. He wears gloves and holds a bag. "Your Majesty," he says and kneels before you. Stand up. Let's go to my study chamber." Sir William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with silver candelabrum. I'm bad with that word. All the furniture are classy. It is a king's study room, after all. There's only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on the study desk to open space for the artifact. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. Candelabrum. There you go. Sorry. The skull is truly a masterpiece, if it is crafted by humans. All the details of a human skull are imprinted with care on the raw crystal. Lights coming from the crystal candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of the rainbow. It's magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't quite belong to the world. Touch the skull. As you're about to touch the skull, Sir William holds your hand and prevents you from touching the skull. Your Majesty, I think I need to tell you something about the skull before you touch it. The day we were about to leave, a native man came to us. He looked like a chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language, but he shouted some of the words that we could understand. Cursed, no touch. So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that a princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of the skull when it comes to incurable diseases. But Your Majesty, I've got a very bad feeling about this skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw the skull into the sea. I'm sure this is like the main part here. Which one you pick changes the ending is my guess, judging by the options. Sure, if you pick this bottom one, she dies. This one, I'm going to say my bet is, I know I've never played these before, so this is just a guess, is that she will live, but I will die. It's my guess here. And this one, she dies. I gotta save her. I can't let Juliana die. She will touch the skull. Ignite sighs. As you wish, Your Majesty. But if you are going to bring the skull to her, I wish you would wear gloves. Touch the bare hands. You ignore the knight. Touch the skull with bare hands, and instantly find yourself in a vision. In your vision, you're in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle whose center is you. They are all prostrating themselves, worshipping you. It's nighttime. The plain area is enlightened with torches and stars. You see a stepped pyramid nearby. It is made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware of what you are. These naked people are worshipping you, the crystal skull. And the vision changes. Now it is not night, morning. It is raining like hell. There's a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned because of the disastrous torrent. And you, as the skull, drift away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are, the good king. Sir William looks at you. You tell him what you have seen in your vision. Yes, the skull is mysterious. I can't understand it. I hope it doesn't bring harm to you or Princess, Your Majesty, he says. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. You thank Sir William for his services and let him go. You carry the skull to Juliana's chamber. You enter her chamber and see that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous and scary, she says. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. She holds the skull, rubs her hands around it. Nothing happens. Is something supposed to happen? She asks, then gives the skull back. Then she continues, let's wait for tomorrow morning. Maybe it shows its effects then. So you decided to leave Juliana alone and let her sleep. The skull will be staying in your study chamber. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everyone in the palace. You are a loved king. Uh-oh. That's foreboding. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber too. You take a glance at your reflection in a mirror. That's to go to sleep. You wear your nightgown and get into your bed. It is a bed for two people. You haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. You have a secret that you keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed, as if it was someone you love. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know it. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. You wake up in the morning. Something is wrong. You can't move your arms. No, not only your arms, you can't move any part of your body. You are paralyzed. Then suddenly, your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up, without your consent. Your feet bring you to the mirror. You see your face in the mirror. You are terrified. There's a grin on your face. You are no longer in control of your body. You are merely a bystander of what it does. It brings you to the throne room with confident steps. Soldiers salute you, to be exact, as you enter. It sits on the throne and shouts with their voice, "Bring me my daughter!" You watch guards accompany Juliana as she comes into your presence. It shouts, "I don't want her to suffer anymore. Kill her!" Juliana is shocked. "What? Father, please!" She is not the only surprised one in the room. Everyone looks at each other with shock. It shouts, "You heard your king. Execute her!" You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets on her knees and cry in despair, but it's in vain. Two black-masked decapitators come into your presence. One holds the crying blonde girl. The other holds a sword. Oh, Jesus. You can do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her head falls down and rolls onto the throne. The floor is filled with her blood. Days pass. It continues to control your body. You mourn for your daughter inside the body that once belonged to you. You watch it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all of the churches to be burnt and priests to be hung. Of course, your people uprises against the new king. It suppresses the revolt with violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Eyes are poked, skins are flayed. Soon, it orders people to worship it as a deity. The God King declares war against other countries. It doesn't take long for the other countries to form an alliance against the God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the God King loses his horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven to see your family once again. The end. Die like Macbeth. Okay. Not how I was expecting that. So far, I do see a theme, though, to all these stories. So far, there's definitely a common underlying theme here. But yeah, again. So it looks like these are all really like 10 minutes each. That's interesting. But let me know your thoughts on these. My biggest issue is the grammar and the wording. It's hard to read when they're written like that. But there's definitely it's lacking some substance, some length. But we're 3 in, right? We got 4 more to go. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. The next episode, The Evil Beneath the Ground. Thanks for watching.